Hello everyone, and welcome back to Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. Previously, Valent Gramarye took the stand. Here, 7 years in the past in this flashback sequence. He's saying that there were two pistols arranged in front of Magnifique Gramarye, and Valent is trying to claim that Zach, who came first, shot Magnifique in the forehead, and Valent, meanwhile, used his pistol to instead shoot the forehead of a clown doll that was by the side of the table. And boy, when you really put it like that, it just sounds so ridiculous, but it kind of makes sense. And now he's saying that the water level remaining in the IV bag proves his innocence. He's claiming that when Magnifique was shot, the IV in Magnifique's arm was jostled out. You can see it laying to the side of his arm there in the photo. So he's trying to say that that level of water is all that's remained after 10 minutes of IV. So if we assume that it was completely full, and it would come back, the doctor would come back at 11:30, then that does actually kind of line up with the shooting taking place at 11:10. Because it's 1/3 of the way empty. It's 2/3 full. So if it drains equally over 30 minutes, then after 10 minutes it would look like that, which would be when the IV would be removed, which Valent is saying that's when Zach shot him, so... Look, I know for a fact that there has to be something wrong with this statement on screen right here. The water of life springs not eternal. The remaining IV liquid proves my innocence. This is information that was added to the testimony, and historically in this franchise's past, that always means this is the most suspect line. But I can't find anything wrong with it, not with any of this evidence. I've been thinking about it between videos, but I really got nothing. So, let's rewind here. Let me read the whole entire statement. I arrived in the hospital room at the appointed time, which is to say 11:20 p.m. After discovering the body, I fulfilled my obligation, shooting the clown in the forehead, apparently, then called in the doctor. The doctor examined the body before the police arrived. He was quite clear about the time of death, 11:10 p.m. The water of life springs not eternal. The remaining IV liquid proved my innocence. Wait. Water of life is a metaphor for blood, right? If he's talking about blood, why is the liquid in the IV green? Oh. I can't tell if this is a contradiction or if it's just censoring. This is IV liquid. Okay, we'll press this, see what we get. Did you notice the IV yourself, by any chance? When first I entered that room, the stench of gunpowder assailed me. Next, the mark of death upon my mentor's forehead. And then his left arm did I spy, a rose, drooping and wilted. Its thorn, the discarded IV needle. Knocked from the vein by the force of the shot. Luckily for you. If that IV had not been there, why, you might be a suspect. Indubitably so. I might say it's thanks to my lucky color. Your lucky color? Indeed, even today I wear it proudly upon my suspect self. for it always, without fail, brings me luck. Why, when Zack and Valent won their first Magician's Grand Prix, yes, the very one held by the Association of International Magicians, I was adorned in this attire then too, and our trophy a bust. Am I getting a phone call? I don't even recognize that area code. Go away. Recording. Rude. I was adorned in this attire then too, and our trophy a bust. Ah, what a day that was. This is one trip down memory lane no one needs. My lucky color, yes, indeed, and that IV too. I say, I think which was huge, especially for me, Valent. Oh my god, this really is about the color, isn't it? I think that's... Shut up, phone. Sorry about that. That does seem to be the case, indeed. Yeah, okay. I think I have something here. Valent sure looks happy with himself. Okay, how about this lucky color testimony? There's a contradiction. It certainly sounds like your lucky color has brought you plenty of luck. But not this time. Mr. Valent, your lucky color has betrayed you. I'm afraid you've lost me. Your Honor, the witness's testimony just now clearly contradicts the evidence. What? Please recall my warning at the beginning of this cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Baseless accusations will be duly penalized. I do hope this latest accusation is well-based. Don't worry, I've got all your bases right here. Someone set us up the bomb? Very well, let's hear the defense's claim. Where is your evidence that contradicts what Mr. Valent has told us? The liquid in there is green. Valent's wearing a lot of colors, but green is not one of them. Also, I really feel for the colorblind players. Holy shit. The crime scene tells all, Your Honor. Oh my god, this is really it? The photo of the crime scene? All this talk of color has me yearning for black and white. Clear-cut simplicity. Tell us, Wright, just where is the contradiction in this photo? My pleasure. And I assure you, it's quite simple. But I can't promise anything in black and white. Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What in this photo contradicts the witness's testimony? The IV bag itself. Valent Grammary, let's get one thing straight about your lucky color. It's yellow, yes? Kind of takes some mystery out of it, but yes. Something wrong with the yellow, Mr. Wright? Yes, there is. Decisively wrong, in fact. Take another look at the photo of the crime scene. What's this? Confusion, doubt. Tell us, what do your elderly eyes spy? Even my elderly eyes can see a problem here, Mr. Valent. Look at that IV bag. Ack, what is this? What fell magic? It would be hard to call the IV liquid yellow. And I'm afraid no magic was involved in the taking of this photograph. No! Oh my god, he actually had doves and rabbits. That's great. Order! What does this mean? Objection! This is some kind of mistake. Yes, Prosecutor Gavin, your witness's mistake. The greener they are, the harder they fall. I suppose there's no substitute for experience. Valiant Grammary, as you reminded us several times, your lucky color is yellow, but the IV is clearly not. Well, this contradiction can mean only one thing. And to think, you almost had me. I see your true colors now, Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright. He said it! He said the thing! Something you'd like to tell us, Prosecutor Gavin? As far as this court can tell, the witness's testimony does contradict the evidence. Yes, a contradiction. One that I should be pleased to hand right back to Mr. Wright. How do you mean? How? Because the witness has made no mistake. I agree, at a glance, the IV liquid does appear as sort of greenish yellow. But I assure you the liquid itself is quite yellow. Oh, the bag itself is tinted, isn't it? Yellow liquid? How can you say that? As far as I can tell from this photo, it's green. Yes, but what color is the IV bag itself? The bag? You mean the plastic bag on the hook? Oh. Blue plus yellow equals green. I get it. It looks like I want to say a light blue? Precisely. Figured it out yet? Put a yellow liquid in a blue bag and you get green. This, incidentally, is the liquid's true color. I see. Your explanation does have the ring of truth to it. Okay, so... As I thought, there's no substitute for experience, Prosecutor Gavin. What? You may tell a good tale, but you've just proven something rather grave. For you, that is. Grave? The liquid in the IV is yellow, yes. But how did this witness know that? It's quite unnatural when you think about it. You did think about it, didn't you? Irk. Your Honor, the defense requests an explanation from the witness. At the scene of the crime, the IV liquid appears to be green. So let me ask, how did the witness know the IV liquid was actually yellow? Oh my god? Order, order, order. Mr. Wright, you will explain this at once. The witness clearly knew the color of the IV liquid, so I'm sure it means something. But what? I can think of only one possibility, Your Honor. The witness, Valiant Grammary, has testified that the IV liquid was yellow because... he knew the IV liquid's color? Okay, it looked yellow is clearly stupid. No. He'd seen it before? I mean... sure, I mean, surely he visited Magnifi a lot. Maybe witnessed the IV, or... I guess he knew the IV liquid's color is the spiciest option and the most accusatory, but I completely fail to see where this is going. From the facts before us, the answer is clear. The witness knew that the IV liquid was yellow. Why? Because he's a piss wizard. He'd seen it before. But not inside the blue bag we see in the photo. He saw the liquid by itself in a clear, colorless bag. I suppose he would have had to, but I'm still not clear as to what all this means. Ask yourself, why would he know if he didn't work at a hospital? That's where you'll find your meaning, Your Honor. I'm afraid I find nothing. So what if he knew the IV liquid's color? Leave the getting excited over absolutely nothing to our teeny bopper fans, yeah? Teeny bopper? The IV liquid is the only evidence proving the time of death. A 30-minute hourglass with 20 minutes worth of sand remaining. Your claim, Prosecutor Gavin. I remember it well. However, there's a critical difference between an hourglass and an IV bag. Wait, I know. An hourglass uses sand, but an IV bag uses a liquid. I'm right? As much as it pains me to say this, Your Honor, no. God, I love the judge. He's one of the best characters, man. Unlike the sands, through an hourglass, IV liquid enters the patient's body. At which point, like magic, it disappears. However, what if the amount of IV liquid had increased? You couldn't tell, could you? After all, there's no way of knowing how much went in. Oh! Okay, the accusation is that Phoenix is trying to say that Valent added more liquid to the IV bag to make his alibi. Oh. Wow, that's weird and so flimsy, but... Let me get this straight, Air Wright. You're saying the witness watered down the victim's IV bag? Not with water, but with IV liquid. That's how you knew the IV liquid was yellow. Now wait, I said wait! How might an amateur such as myself essay to perform such a task? I'm an amateur too, but I can pour water into a cup. I'm afraid there's quite a big difference between a cup and an IV bag. Quite. Can you prove our witness capable of such a feat? He has a point, amateurs. I, at least, would have some difficulty pouring IV liquid into that bag. You don't need to be an expert to see the look on the witness's face. He added liquid to that IV to throw off the time of death. I tire of these fairy tales lacking evidence. Well, Mr. Wright, any solid evidence to bring us back down to earth? Valent Gramarye, I'm afraid your magic won't serve you well in a life of crime. Might I ask what you're strongly suggesting? Magic relies on props, and props become evidence. Our witness was certainly able to increase the amount of IV liquid in the bag. All he had to do was work a little magic, and the prop was... That immediately jumped out to me. The small syringe. Like, that's literally the only thing that can hold liquid here. That's paper, liquid injector, paper, a gun, an attorney's badge, paper, and paper. This is really a non-question. The victim's syringe. It's the perfect prop for the magically increasing IV trick, and easy enough for an amateur to use. What kind of evidence is that? The syringe was clean, not a trace of liquid in it. And don't you find that odd, Prosecutor Gavin? What? The victim had the syringe to administer his insulin shots. There should have been traces of insulin left inside. Well, Valiant Gramarye, as you pointed out yourself, the IV liquid makes the perfect clock. One that you could manipulate at will. Alakazar! How many rabbits and doves does he have? There's like 6 or 8 doves just fluttering around the courthouse now, pooping on everything. Oh man, that reminds me that one time I got pooped on by a bird. Oh man, story time. Okay, gather around, kiddos. Okay, so a few years back, I lived in an apartment in a city, and I could see from my apartment a local, what's the word for it? It's a market where, not a farmer's market, but it's more like a convention with a bunch of tents and booths set up where small-time artists hawk their wares. And I could see it from my window in the apartment. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go out there. So I dressed myself in some cooler clothes because it was a very hot day. Nice khaki shorts, a smart-looking shirt. And I went outside my apartment, and as I was walking through the parking lot to get over to it, like just 30 steps away from the front door to my apartment building, I feel a sensation, like I'd been struck by something, and it felt wet. And I looked down on myself, and it was seagull poop, right on me. All over my shirt and my khaki shorts. And here's the thing. The seagull poop was orange. I can only surmise that seagull had some of the greasy, deep-fried food present at that fair thing going on. So, I turned right around, I swore a bit, and I gingerly made my way back to my apartment. And my dad was in there, and he saw me. And I told him what happened, and he laughed at me, and then I went and showered. Oh, I can laugh about it now, but boy, that was the worst. And no, I did not go out again. I just said, you know what? Fate showed me its intentions. It told me not to go out. I won't go out. Anyway, moving on. I do believe, well, with this being his first, that the burden of this trial has been a bit too much to bear for Prosecutor Gavin. I'm afraid that, while there is a doubt as to the amount of IV liquid in that bag, the time of death cannot be proven. And that brings our trial to a close for today. Well, maybe I can squeeze an extra day out of this. I can do a little much-needed investigation work. Really? Investigation in this flashback? I see there are no objections. God damn it, Clavier. Truly, there's no substitute for experience. Nothing blinds one to the truth so effectively. A word to the rise. Underestimate the young, and they'll sweep your feet out from under you. In a way you never ever expected. You see, I know exactly what you're thinking. What's he talking about? You say the witness used the syringe to manipulate the level of the IV liquid. But there is no proof. There is no proof he didn't do it either. Yes, quite true. Huh? He's admitting it? Nor was this witness quite as decisive as I'd hoped. This, I admit, after all, why linger in the past when the future holds so much? Well said. You have something in mind, Prosecutor Gavin? Proof, Air Judge. I have another way to prove my case. with evidence no less. What's this? This is the victim, Magnifique Gramarye's diary. Ah, okay, this is what future Clavier was freaking out about. Oh man, oh no. Here it comes. This is the worst. I know it's gonna happen. Oh, poor Phoenix. Diary. After going into the hospital, Magnifique began writing his memoirs, it seems. The story of his birth, his startling debut, and of meeting his disciples. It seems he intended for the last chapter to end, quite appropriately, with his death. Wait, that book doesn't say what the reason was, does it? The reason why his disciples couldn't refuse his last request? Sadly, it does not. What's important here is on the last page. Apparently, the victim wrote in his journal that night, even after the IV had begun at 11 p.m. Let's read it, shall we? Tonight's IV is in. Maybe the last. I leave the rest to them. The first should come soon. This journal may end here, or it may go on. But not long. That depends on his hand. All that is left to mine is to... I can't read that. Is to lay down this pen. I think. This does appear to have been written just before his death. The court accepts this into evidence. Okay. Read the very last part with particular care. Will do. Let's have a look. Can I open it? Hello? I'd like to open it, please. This is the last page. Diary ends here. Huh? What's this? It looks like a page was ripped out? Well now, isn't that interesting? Oh, guess we can't read it. Well, we know that diary's authentic. It's this last page that was, quote-unquote, ripped out that's fake. And honestly, I think I can see why. I think if you line it up with the ripped page, it's not gonna match. That's a hunch, though. Read the very last part with particular care. This journal may end here or it may go on, but not long. That depends on his hand, and the his is underlined. Of course, by his, he refers to our defendant, Zach Gramarye. That would make sense, yes. He was the first scheduled visitor, after all. But look at what he said before that. This journal may end here or it may go on. It may go on. Magnifique Gramarye intended to write again. That is, if Zach Gramarye didn't pull the trigger. I see the defense understands the meaning of this. The victim's diary does not go on. It ends. Because Magnifique's life was brought to an end by the defendant, Zach Gramarye. Well, here comes the extra page. Order, order, order. Really gotta shake the jowls when you get that last order, man. Prosecutor Gavin, are you certain that Magnifique Gramarye wrote this? There is no mistaking his handwriting. Well, this does seem to be significant. According to this, Magnifique did intend to continue his diary. Yet if his diary ended here, which plainly it did, then the one who pulled the trigger was the first visitor, Zach Gramarye. Hello? Guys? Do you have eyeballs that function? I know some of you are colorblind, but clearly you can see that a page was ripped out. We don't even need to present that freaking extra page that was forged. We can just say, hello, this page was ripped out? Clearly, it was a page describing Zach's visit, and Valent ripped it out to show that Zach couldn't have been the one who didn't shoot it? Yeah? Hello? Well, how do you like me now, Air Wright? Still too green for your tastes, He's right about the diary being pretty clear. Still, I find it hard to believe that he'd overlook such an obvious problem with his precious evidence. Well, Mr. Wright, the witness's testimony we heard was lacking. But put together with this evidence, it seems quite sufficient for a case. If the diary is accepted like this, the trial's over. Maybe it's time for me to show them something. Okay, here we go. Show evidence. I'm left with no choice but to show my own evidence. Oh my god, that phrasing is going to be so suspect in hindsight. What? You have some evidence that overturns this diary? It's not too late to rethink this and avoid more embarrassment. Very well. Please show us your evidence, Mr. Wright. Incidentally, don't even think of showing us this diary I've just shown the court. Okay. Now we've come this far, I hope you have something a little more decisive. Show us evidence that proves the victim continued writing his diary. Alright, I'd be happy to. The decisive evidence proving that the diary didn't end with this page is... That was the worst press of the X button in my life. First, take a close look at this diary. Note that a page has clearly been ripped out. What's this? I hadn't noticed that at all. That's why we're still here talking about this. As it just so happens, I have here what I believe to be the missing page. Halika, I don't believe it! Looking at this page, it's hard to imagine that the first visitor that night shot Magnifi Grammary. That's the defense's position. Wait, let me see that. What in Sam hell? Why, this is continuation of the victim's diary. Clavier is completely not phased. Unfazed. Note the torn edge of the page. It's a perfect match with the torn remains of the last page in Magnifi's diary. It is? Then how the hell is this going to be proven fake? Quite remarkable. Would you care to explain what all this means, Air Attorney? The diary continued after his first visitor came, which means that the victim was still alive after Zach Grammary left, leaving no one to take his life but the second visitor. Valent Grammary. Not Gallant. Wait, is that really swapping the Gallant Vramery? No, Vramery isn't anything. No! The handwriting, too, matches that on the other pages. This is, without a doubt, the genuine article. Order, order, order. But wait, that's impossible. Yeah, because you disposed of the real page, didn't you? That old man couldn't have written that.
Objection!
Finally. You just couldn't resist, could you, Wright? Resist what? Presenting solid evidence? Judge? Yes, Prosecutor Gavin. Might I request we put the current cross-examination on hold? The prosecution would like to call a new witness. But Prosecutor Gavin, this evidence overturns the current witnesses. I ask only to put it on hold. Please, my new witness has a very, very important piece of testimony to give. 5 minutes, no more. I promise, Your Honor. Well, if you put it that way, Mr. Wright, what's your take on this? Well, Your Honor, judging from his enthusiasm, we'll have to hear this new testimony sooner or later anyway. So it might as well be sooner. Then, though this is highly, highly irregular, we will put the current cross-examination on hold. The witness may step down. Now, Prosecutor Gavin, please bring the surprise witness to the courtroom. It couldn't be Vera, could it? No, in that case, future Clavier, or present Clavier, wouldn't be freaking out. I had a bad feeling just then. That ripped-out page was too obvious. He must have known. And I should have known it was a bad sign all around. Drew! The hair, that has to be Drew Misham. Holding trial with no audience is a first, even for me, Prosecutor Gavin. I beg the court's understanding. But I had to make a judiciary deal with the witness to secure his testimony. Oh, man. So did Clavier really know the entire time that Phoenix had forged evidence? Did he hire Drew, and by extent Vera, to make forged evidence and to give it to Phoenix Wright? To take Phoenix down? Was this all a plot? But in the present, I read Clavier freaking out about the journal with the forgery that Vera did. I read that as Clavier freaking out that, oh no, there was a miscarriage of justice all those years ago. The wrong thing happened. It was a bad outcome. Justice wasn't met. But maybe he's freaking out because this scumbaggery that he performed came to light. Oh, we'll have to wait and see. A judiciary deal? The details of his testimony may have some legal ramifications, shall we say. I thought it best to contain the information to this room. Very well. And you are the witness, I gather. Yes, sir. State your name and occupation for the record. He strikes me as being very soft-spoken. My name's Drew Misham. I'm a painter. A painter? And you are somehow related to this case? No, well, not per se. I have some simple questions for this witness. Oh, I have one simple question for this witness. Mr. Misham, was it? Do you know what this is? Oh, yeah, I know it well. How is that possible? Have you seen this diary page somewhere before? Oh, yeah, I mean, I made it. You... what? You made it? Yes, you might call it one of my works. The regional prosecutor's office received a tip-off yesterday. Oh. Illegal evidence has been prepared for the trial of Zach Gramarye. Illegal evidence? I initiated an investigation and found this witness. A painter to the world at large, Drew Misham has another side, you might say. He is skilled in making perfect reproductions of certain things. Forgeries, in other words. Forgeries? Well, so we are to understand that this page here is a fake, prepared by a certain defense attorney. Hold it! I didn't prepare this evidence. The attorney speaks. Something about this page, I presume, but what is he saying? It makes no sense. After all, it was you who presented this evidence to us, Phoenix Wright. Witness, Mr. Misham, was it? Who requested this forgery? Who was your client? That I don't know. What? Most of my clients prefer to remain anonymous, even to me. I make the items they want and receive my payment. That's the extent of my contact with them. But there's no proof this is a fake. It's a fake. Huh? To avoid just this sort of problem, I always put a special mark on my works. I can say without a doubt this is mine. Mr. Wright, you have just presented illegal evidence to this court. My court. It was careless of me. That's all I can say. Oh, old boy? Here. What's this? I don't know. I just got it over there in that hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in a blue suit with the spiky hair. They said it was really important. It was all a trap. A fatal trap. Mr. Wright? Yes. Do you have an explanation for yourself? If I did, would the court hear it? Probably not. Forging evidence is a serious crime, and presenting it in court a serious mistake. This feels like when your dad is mad at you. Oh my god. A fatal mistake for an attorney. Fatal, too, perhaps, for your client, I fear. Tell me, what kind of defendant relies on forged evidence? The answer is quite clear. A guilty one. Your Honor, wait. I understand that presenting forged evidence in court is a serious crime, but you cannot hold my client responsible for actions I undertook as an individual. I am sorry, Mr. Wright. Your Honor? Another close call, I dare say. If the prosecutor's office hadn't received that hot tip, everything would have gone the way you wanted it to, yeah? I even gave you a chance. Too bad you decided not to think before embarrassing yourself. I see no need for further discussion on this matter. Special witness dismissed. Mr. Attorney. Yes? Could I ask your name? Phoenix Wright. This must be when Drew became obsessed with Phoenix. Why, he's been watching the Wright and Company law offices for so long. Mr. Wright, I have seen and studied many people, but none like you. I'll remember you, Mr. Wright. Bingo. Though I deeply regret having to declare a verdict in this way, this trial is over. You have the right to find a new attorney and make an appeal. However, this court must... Your Honor? Yes, Mr. Zack? There is one thing I wish to make clear. Today, in this courtroom, you cannot declare me guilty. It is impossible. Is this... Oh. When he originally said this to Phoenix at the start here, I took that to mean that he had some knowledge about the forged evidence. Because, well, the forged evidence really made him look very good. Okay, I have a prediction. He says it's impossible because that would make Trucy cry. That's my guess. I'm afraid the defendant is quite mistaken. I most certainly have the authority to declare a verdict on you. Except, tell me, how do you plan on announcing your verdict when your defendant does not exist? Doesn't exist? What are you talking about? I am talking about this. Mr. Enigmar? The defendant's escaped. Find him, quick. Bailiff, close all exits from the building. On the double, he must not be allowed to escape. One last trick, huh? That day, in that courtroom, a miracle occurred. The defendant, Shady Enigmar, aka Zack Gramarye, did not just escape from court. He literally, unbelievably vanished. Right before the bailiff's eyes. No one ever saw him again. Not since that day. This is the Gramarye miracle. No verdict was declared. After all, the defendant didn't exist. That's how it happened. The trial of magician Zack Gramarye vanished, along with him for all eternity. The mysteries that remained behind were all solved, however, but not until 7 years later. Spoilers. Now that is fascinating. That trial 7 years ago was the beginning of it all. This I know beyond a doubt. The mysteries of the past work their magic on the... For the love of... That's the same number. I don't even recognize it. Go away. Go away. Stop it. No more. Don't do it. Don't you do it? Okay, good. The mysteries of past work their magic on the present. But you'll soon be finding all of this out for yourself. Which of Magnifi Gramarye's disciples pulled that trigger? Where did the vanishing defendant Zach Gramery go? What dark truth lurks behind the forged diary page? For the love of... And what about the girl who was left behind? Mason system. Oh yeah. The past left us these 4 keys to unlock the truth. But that's not all. There are 4 keys in the present as well. And when all the questions have found their answers, the final trial will begin. But first, you must chase the truth through then and now. Is this what I think it is? Think of it as a game. I, Phoenix Wright, will be your guide through this game. Okay. Choose your own adventure. Chapter select. Let's go. Though that terrible trial saw me present forged evidence, it ended half-finished when the defendant vanished. What became of me after that? As your investigation proceeds, the answer will become clear. Oh, and one more thing. There's something I must tell you. As Apollo Justice has his bracelet, so too do I have my own weapon of sorts. Magatama? Hey! My Magatama. What does it do, you ask? That I would have you see for yourself. Well now, shall we begin? Touch the arrows to switch between past and present. But let's begin 7 years ago, in the past. It is right after my last trial came to an abrupt end. Now that you know the game, let's play. Okay. Chapter select. Oh man, can I go over right now? So maybe these will unlock as we do stuff in the past. Okay, this is cool. This is a big shake-up of the formula. Ooh. Oh, this is gonna be good. Okay, wow. Man, okay, wow, jeez, okay, wait. So, this is fourth wall breaking. This is Phoenix speaking directly to us about this game. So, what is the in-universe explanation gonna be for Apollo knowing all this information? How will he find out the truth? I don't know, but I guess we'll find out later. Okay, good, I can save. From here. Gosh. So you know, if this entire mystery, if it resolves, and if in the course of that, it shows proof that Phoenix was handed fake evidence and was entrapped into doing it, could he have his license reinstated? Like, look, this game is Ace Attorney 4. I know there are some spin-off games about Miles Edgeworth. There are 2 of them for those, and there's also The Great Ace Attorney, which, while I do know nothing about that, I think I've seen the protagonist, and it is distinctly not Phoenix. Either that or a very young Phoenix before he got his spiky hair. There's also Ace Attorney 5 and 6 for the Nintendo 3DS. Come to think of it, are they called Phoenix Wright? Like, one's called Dual Destinies. Is that Ace Attorney Dual Destinies, or is that Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies? I don't know. Don't answer me. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, I don't actually know what Phoenix's ultimate fate will be. Will he remain punished Phoenix, a man robbed of his future? Or is he going to take up the mantle of attorney once more? I suppose either way, that is up to him. Well, I'm very excited to see what happens next, so in the meantime, I'm Zephyr the Jester. This has been more Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll catch you next time. So until then, please take care.